Hello and welcome to the Student Support Portal. The portal is an online community of students, educational professionals and parents of students with a disability who want to keep up to date with the latest developments in assistive technology. Welcome to the portal, and today we are speaking with Dan Thompson, the sales manager from Philips. Dan, you're very welcome.
Thanks, Michael, and appreciate the invitation. Great to be here.
So Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself first before we move on to the company. What's your own background?
Yeah, so I've always been within IT, strong IT background. Prior to Philips dictation, I worked at HP, specifically in the education space. So working with different education suppliers and assisting students within their work via the HP technologies. At Philips dictation, so I've been here for a few years now, and we've been making, I suppose in more recent times, Michael, the last year, a good introduction in the DSA space. And I can give you, over the course of this interview, a few snippets of what we're doing and how we might be able to benefit students within this space.
Okay, so let's start with, you mentioned Philips dictation. I'm sure most people like me would have heard of Philips before from maybe television brands or some sort of electronics. Is there a connection between the two companies?
No, so there isn't a connection. The brands in common that surrounds me today actually is the only thing we have in common, but we're a completely different entity. So we are just specifically on the speech technology side.
Okay, so then tell me a little bit about Philips dictation. What products you would supply? Is it all hardware like dictaphones, or is it wider than that?
It's much wider, Michael. Yeah. So we started about 65 years ago, where we manufactured. Remember the old tapes?
I do indeed. Yes.
Yeah. Unbelievably, there are companies that still use it today. Another story for another day. But then digital dictation started in the 90s, and since then, the improvement and the revolution of that technology has been amazing. Really, seeing where it's gone, because that's spawned off, Michael, into software and solutions and cloud, and that is where we are leading ourselves as a manufacturer. That is our main focus now with software and solutions and cloud. So I'll speak a little bit more about that, but the advancements of the recorders themselves, things like this, it's just been amazing. The microphone quality, the ease of use, and the software, particularly speech recognition software, to back it up as well, to make it a lot more beneficial for the users.
Okay, and when you mentioned speech recognition, I would instantly think of Nuance and the Dragon products. Do you integrate with them in any way, or have you got your own speech recognition engines?
We do integrate with them. So we don't have our own Philips dictation speech recognition engines. We work very closely with Nuance, and they're a key partner of ours. And we use and integrate the Dragon speech recognition engine within a few of our solutions, which I'll discuss a bit later.
Okay, so let's take a typical scenario of one of our students sitting in a lecture hall. You've already held up one of your products there. Talk me through the different range of products that you can offer, and maybe do they need external microphones plugged in to pick up a quality signal?
Yeah, so within this range, Michael, for students, there's probably 4 or 5 different microphones that they could use. In terms of plugging in a external microphone, it's they can do that if they choose. That's absolutely fine, and it'll give you the ability to pick up a wider radius of sound as well. But it isn't essential. The range of sound that these microphones pick up as a standalone device is already impressive. Now, I'll talk about it a bit later, but you can use these devices. They actually integrate with your mobile phone. So say, for instance, Michael, you're a student in a lecture theatre and you wanted to record the lecture, you could use one of these and place it right in front of the lecturer. So you're picking up the sound from only a meter or a couple of meters away, which it will do very effectively. And then you could use your smartphone and the comfort of your seat, wherever you're sitting in the lecture theatre, as a remote control. And then you can begin the recording anytime you like using your smartphone. You can pause it if the lecturer talks about something that isn't relevant to you, resume it when you like, end it where you like, and share it from your seat as well. So you can share it instantly, perhaps with other students, other colleagues, if you're doing some group work together, or maybe back to your computer if you want to then transcribe all of your notes via speech recognition, or maybe to type at a later date.
Okay, very, very clever. So I could be sitting as a student in a hall and I can be bookmarking from my phone. I don't need to go up and hit the bookmark button then on that.
Absolutely, yeah. So through the phone app, Michael, there is the bookmark button, and you can hit that anytime you need, and it will create those bookmarks. Now, hot off the press, and this is a world exclusive, not been announced before, Michael, and I thought, what better time to announce it in this interview, is we have just managed to secure an integration with Sonocent, with audio note-taker software. And that's brilliant. It's something we've been working on for quite a few months in the background now. So you can use the Philips voice recorders and the bookmarking feature either directly on the device or with your smartphone remote control, and then upload that recording into Audio Note Taker, and it will work in the way that it should and splits down all of those recordings into new lines of audio formats where you can arrange it per presentation slide to make it a lot easier to manage all of your notes.
Fantastic. Yes, we interviewed Helena from Sonocent a few months ago.
Yeah.
So very good. I'll make sure I link this video to theirs, and then people can see how the devices interoperate.
That'd be great.
If a parent is watching this and they're thinking, okay, I'm going to buy a digital recorder for my child in lectures, is there a particular model you would recommend or a range that you'd recommend?
There is, yeah. So there's two models that I would recommend, Michael. One of them, and apologies because we don't necessarily name our products the most imaginative way, but one of them is called the DVT, so Delta Victor Tango 4110. DVT 4110, and the other one is the DVT 6110. The reason why I'm recommending these two, they're the only two recorders in our range that give you the ability to use your smartphone as a remote control. And from speaking to a number of students, parents, and assessors so far, that there seems to be a very beneficial technology for students in this space. So I'd say the smartphone integration feature is a good one, is key. And then the difference between the 4110 and 6110. The 6110 has the high fidelity recording. And to get a little bit geeky, I promise this is the most technical I'll be during this interview, but it's the 24-bit 96 kilohertz recording. And that is just incredibly high fidelity, very crystal clear recording. Particularly good if you've got a student who might record music maybe, or use it to import into a video if they're doing a high quality video and want the best sound possible. But if they don't, 4110 will do the job extremely well as well.
So Dan, you've mentioned the two models there, the 4100 series and the 6100 series. Can you give us a rough RRP price point if a parent wants to buy those?
Yeah, so the RRP of the 4110 is about £91, and then the RRP of the 6110 was about £108. So just shy of £100 for the 4110, just over £100 for the 6110.
Okay, so yeah, I would imagine if I was buying that for a child, I'd probably go for the higher model with a higher fidelity then for that.
There's not a big difference, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Let's talk a little bit about the integration with Audio Note Taker. That was something we were going to ask about. A lot of the people on the portal would be familiar with that note-taking software. But for those that aren't, can you explain the difference in the recording end and the actual software end of that and how they integrate?
Yeah, so once you've uploaded one of your audio recordings that you've taken with the digital voice recorder, the brilliant thing about Audio Note Taker is it gives you the ability to split that audio file into many different sections. And what a lot of students like to do is split down one big massive audio text, if you like, and chop it per presentation slide. And it gives them the ability of, when they're looking over that presentation in the future, they have a very easy way to navigate through those presentation slides and the notes, because it's all split very easily with the Audio Note Taker software.
Okay, so that's really what we're talking about, is that comprehensive package where they can import slides, they can import the audio, and then they can type their own notes and import their bookmarks and things into one complete package there.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, Dan, if a student records a lecture, you had mentioned earlier about your cloud options. So tell us how that works and what sort of functionality that would have for a student.
Yeah, so we have a cloud solution, Michael, where you can manage all of your recordings on the go via your web browser. So you just need to open your web browser, log in, and then you are inside of the cloud portal. It's called Speech Live, and not only does it give you the ability to view and manage all of your recordings on the go, it also has integrated speech to text. So providing you've got your PC connected to a decent microphone, obviously ideally Philips, you can click record, and all of the words will come up on the screen live in real time. So that is something we launched. At the moment, it's still just beta, but many customers around the UK and Ireland, and globally, in fact, are using this and are finding the accuracy very good. So it will be a full-blown version later this year, but already you can use it very effectively as the beta version.
Okay, and just to clarify, that would be me recording my own voice and it being transcribed on the screen?
That's correct.
Okay, and if I've recorded my lecture, what stage is the technology development at the moment? If I play back a random lecturer's voice into Dragon, how accurate would you say that would be?
Not very. So at the moment, Michael, there isn't really a solution out there, a mature solution out there, where you can record multiple users' voices via speech recognition. It's suddenly gets very technical, way beyond my realms of technical capacity, but it's something, yeah, we're working on again, and it will be something we will launch. It's multi-speaker speech recognition,
Yeah,
and that technology is really exciting, because it would be a great use case for students in lecture theatres and many other uses as well. Conferencing is a big one.
yeah. I think for quite a number of years, that's been the holy grail of the recordings, is that they work extremely well. Dragon, for example, if I was to train it to my voice and I dictate, it's pretty much now word perfect with the occasional mistake, usually because I've mumbled. But yes, I think that's the next big development, will be, can we record just a lecturer walking into a hall and have that transcribed? So you had mentioned about your Dragon integration. Is there a new development there that you'd like to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, so for a couple of years now, we have had the Dragon Recorder Edition. as part of our range. So it's been rebranded as Philips, but the software is Dragon Recorder Edition. Since September, Michael, we've also been supplying this as a standalone software. Prior to September, it was only available as a bundle with a voice recorder. So now that it's standalone, the student has a lot more flexibility because they could purchase it on its own and use it. If they've already got a DVR, perfect, they can use it with that. Or perhaps they might want to bundle it with any of the solutions in our range if they wanted to refresh their DVR. So there's a lot more flexibility. I've just got to stress as well, Michael, the difference between Dragon Recorder Edition, which is this, and the Dragon DSA Edition. They're very different versions of Dragon. So with the DSA Edition, it gives you the ability to have true speech to text, and you can record using your microphone directly into the software, and the words will appear on the screen live. Now, with Recorder Edition, it doesn't do speech to text, but what it does do is you can record anything on the go using your digital voice recorder, and then at a later time, you upload that recording into the Dragon Recorder Edition software, and it will then transcribe in a matter of seconds or minutes, just depending how long that recording is. So it's a different type of speech recognition, but it certainly has its place in the market and its use as well, because there are students who might, maybe a student has dysgraphia, where writing all the notes is a real challenge. So it's a lot easier to record using a DVR. And then if you can get all of these notes transcribed automatically, fantastic. And the challenge of doing that later is not an issue at all compared to doing it live, speech to text, if that makes sense.
Yes, I think most of our students would be used to the speech, the text appearing on the screen. It's being processed locally on the local computer, which they have trained to their voice. So by the sound of things, yours is being uploaded to a cloud, being processed by one of your servers, and then pushed back down. Is that right?
No, so it's not a cloud solution. So the software, you would install it on your PC, and you do have your own voice profile on there, where it will still get used to your voice. It will still train and improve the more you use it. It will get better over time as well.
Yes, that was going to be my question, is how does it learn? So it is processed locally still?
Yeah. It is, yeah.
Dan, thank you. You gave us that exclusive release for the integration with Sonocent's audio note taker. Let's finish off by talking a little bit about that. So what in particular are those features that you're adding into audio note taker?
Yes, so it will give the student the ability to effectively split and chop up the audio file at the specific points in which they press the bookmark button. Without the integration, if a student was pressing the bookmark button in the lecture theatre, when they uploaded that audio file into Audio Note Taker, it would just appear as one continuous audio line. And that wouldn't be very useful for the students if they then wanted to split each part of audio and the notes, pair the presentation slide. So the integration, it allows them to, once they press the bookmark button at the point that they want, when they upload it into Audio Note Taker, that file will be split pair line and pair index bookmark, and then they can organize their notes a lot more effectively, the presentation slides.
Great. Yes, I can see the benefit of that they don't then have to go through an entire audio file and try and match it per slide. It just automatically configures.
That's correct.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you. Folks, today we were speaking with Dan Thompson from Philips, And if you check out the rest of the podcasts and click on the subscribe button, you can get the rest of our interview series online. Thank you. This interview was part of our Publishers and Manufacturers series of interviews. If you'd like more information on the products that were discussed in the interview, please go to the portal Assistive Technology section and start a conversation. Thanks for watching.